Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Photographic Memory Podcast. I'm excited to welcome the program Dr. Shannon Panzo. Dr. Shannon, what's going on? How are you?
Oh, everything's going along real good. Another great sunny day, and everything's live and happy.
That's awesome. So, our topic today, before we get to it, again, Dr. Shannon's a photographic memory expert, a brain management expert, and lastly, he does mentoring, and he definitely can help you through those trials and tribulations to get to where you are so you feel clear, your brain, and have the goals you need to be a success in life. So go to zuxpro.com for more information. Now, Dr. Shannon, our topic today is how to become an expert. And I'm going to ask this question because a lot of people don't want to be experts. They don't want to take that responsibility to be an expert. They think it's bragging, it's braggadocious, it's egotistical in this society today. Why is it important to be an expert?
Well, if you ever want to stand above the crowd, uh, if you ever want to actually explore becoming good in your field, to the point where people recognize you, you have to take on the mantle of being an expert. If you don't want to be an expert, then you are just going to be in the background, mediocre, like so many other people. But if you actually want to rise above the crowd, you have to be an expert, at least in some degree.
Right.
And there's a lot of areas that a person can become an expert in. Obviously, there's a whole world full of them. It's up to you as to how you want to do that. Now, when it comes to being an expert, there's basically three steps that I look at. The first one is gaining credible, organized, great information. So you still have to undertake gaining information that's superior to your peers. Okay? You have to have the superior information so that what? So the people come to you for answers, and so the
Exactly.
people look up to you. Then then you have to have the ability to be smart. Now, this is something I mentioned earlier. The difference between the smart person and another person that has the same amount of information is the smart person comes up with the goods faster.
Right.
They're the first ones that actually put it out there, and they're the ones that actually talk about it first. Okay, sort of like what happens in a game show. So that's the smarter person. You have to be that smarter person. And and the third thing is you have to have the confidence. Now, when you have the information and you're the smarter person, the confidence will be
Right.
gained as a result of initiating those things in order to become better at what you're doing. In other words, so that you can become the expert. There
Exactly.
is so much information on any given topic out there. Uh, you have a great swath to
Right.
conquer when it comes to information. So uh, your you definitely have your work cut out for you if you
Exactly.
want to become an expert. Whenever you're an expert, you're expected to just freely talk about whatever it is you're an expert in.
Correct.
If you if you're not an expert, well, then you have an excuse that you don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay, so uh, what would you like to ask me about that?
So, how can you become the expert? A lot of times, it's a lot of study in areas, and then you have to niche down. But in a lot of ways, you don't look at niching down when you learn the photographic memory, right?
Well, the niche down means that you want to focus your expertise into a certain specific area. Whenever you're using the photographic memory, whenever you're using the mental photography, it allows you to take in a huge amount of information, excellent information in a relatively short amount of time. And whenever you do it this way, you're able to gain 100% of the information that you've mentally photographed, and it's there for life. Then you basically allow your circumstances to trigger that information out, and so that you will be credible with that information because you actually have that information. Whenever you get information to start with, whenever you're just exploring mental photography, sure, the information is going to feel like it's guessing because it's coming from your long term memory directly. And it's not information that you have, quote, read, it's information that you've mentally photographed, which is a different brain function. So, but it actually does give you the fluidity that you need to, again, stand above the crowd. Whenever you're, whenever you're dealing with people in general, again, you have to do things that you would not normally do. You have to speak up. Does that answer your question?
100% it does. So, based on that point, the information, let's kind of just delve it down. So, you're an expert, you know, all that information, you kind of are able to regurgitate it, take a look at it, develop it, then on the fly, be able to answer it because you're able to recall your photographs in your brain.
Right. Well, not only that, whenever you're an expert, you have this thing called lateral thinking. Lateral thinking is where you really shine as an expert because this is where you can take multiple ideas that are actually not even related and you can create new ideas and new product and new marketing, what have you, all from ideas that are just simply not related at all.
Exactly.
So yes, there's definitely some things out there that you can do whenever you're an expert. And the mental photography using the photographic memory gives you great avenue to really tap into your lateral thinking.
Yes.
And you are very creative in doing so. Would that help your circumstances being an expert, Neil?
Yes, definitely. So, the importance of being an expert means if you're an expert, you're, as we said, increase your ability, increase your knowledge, you stand above the rest as the best. And you're somebody that people come to ask questions for, to help,
Right.
to hire, to know that they can handle things because they understand things, which means your bank account increases, your job security increases, and so, why not today do people not just go to zuxpro.com so that their bank account increases and their job security increases? Wouldn't it be simple?
Well, of course it'd be simple, but more and more I look at people and it's really funny because they seem to want to make things more complicated for themselves. And they feel that I love this little story. Neil, if I wanted to sell you a salt shaker, you would say to me, Shannon, I already got 10 salt shakers. What do I need another salt shaker for?
Exactly.
But if I go and I make a salt shaker and it takes coarse ground salt. It dispenses 7 different grinds of salt. It's battery operated. It has a little light on it, and it goes wee whenever you push the little
Yeah,
button. And you don't have to do anything yourself because all you got to do is push the little button. I can sell you 1 million of those. Why?
exactly.
Because I've made it complicated. And
Yes.
that's what people want for some odd reason. They don't want to keep it simple, yet simple is the way to go.
All right. So, learning all of it, zuxpro.com. Check you out. Anything to add on this topic of the expert?
Just if you actually do want to be an expert in something, you need to have that superior information. This is how to get it. Plain and
Exactly.
simple. You go for it.
Go for it by going to zuxpro.com. Dr. Shannon, great conversation. Good talking to you. And I want to become an expert too. So I need to join Zuxpro today. Take care.
You have a great day, Neil. And yep, things are going to keep happening here as they always do.
Yes. And that was the Photographic Memory Podcast, guys. Take care.